There was, yes. I saw you move your microphone.
Can I add a little tiny piece? This was really about this notion of fatigue. I think what's happened is really with the if you can learn a lesson from the Earth campaign, as we call it, is that there is a fatigue. And what that's doing is creating a sense of despair. If you take the Kubler-Ross model for analyzing grief and strategy, there's 5 stages. And you can apply this to the environment in a way and the way the media conducts its messaging. So the first stage is denial, then it's anger, then it's bargaining, then it's despair. Now the 5th stage, to move out of despair, and when I talk about despair, you see the messages every day, overfishing, blah, blah, it goes on and on and on, not only below the ocean, but above. Now to move from despair to acceptance, what's that going to take? But what's happened now is we've seen this guy called fatigue come into the middle. So my thing for BioMarine would be to really look at the campaigning that's gone on and the way that, although it's created a momentum, I think it's not solving the problem potentially above the ground. And to be really careful with the way that you create this campaign, because the oceans are even more abstract. Even more abstract. The only time I see it maybe is if I'm on holiday sitting on a beach, and the only thing I'm often thinking about is keeping balanced on my lilo or keeping my drink up and looking around, or it's, if on the mass consumer level in the developed world I'm talking about. So it's about really being careful, I think, with how you don't fall into the same trap of the fatigue and making sure that, it becomes really tangible and relatable because it's so externalized already. I mean, what does a ton of carbon taste like? Anyone? I don't know. What does a kilowatt of energy taste like? And it's all we hear, these abstract things, and we really need to personalize it. So that would be my advice is on the curiosity stamp is personalize it as well. So sorry, it was a bit too much.
We have time for a few more questions. There was one right here in the middle, and then up there. Yes, go ahead, please.
Bonjour, Sylvie Goyer, je suis directrice de la FIBA, c'est une petite ONG internationale qui travaille sur les AMP et les écosystèmes marins en Afrique de l'Ouest. Je voudrais rebondir un petit peu sur la question de Madame, parce que je pense que ça touche exactement le titre de cette session, c'est-à-dire comment informer, mobiliser et responsabiliser le public. Et je pense que on ne s'attaque peut-être pas au bon médium. On devrait peut-être faire plus pour trouver d'autres channels, d'autres médiums. Je salue le travail des médias conventionnels et je félicite Dominique pour tout le travail qu'elle fait dans ce magazine. Mais si on travaille de par le monde, moi particulièrement en Afrique de l'Ouest, les gens qu'on écoute, par exemple, ce sont plus les religieux. Si je regarde mes enfants changent de comportement en écoutant des musiciens, des sportifs. Et je pense qu'il y a tout un monde de médiums, de channels, d'acteurs que nous, experts, entre guillemets, on n'utilise peut-être pas assez. J'étais ravie de voir Maude Fontenoy ici tout à l'heure. Au congrès de l'IUCN, il y avait Tony Estranger, le champion kayakiste français. Je pense que ces gens-là, quand ils s'engagent, ils peuvent vraiment faire beaucoup pour influencer et pour aller plus vite dans les changements de comportement. La même chose pour les religieux. Le VVF a des initiatives avec les religions. Je pense que ces moyens-là, surtout dans les pays en développement, peuvent nous aider à aller plus vite pour changer les comportements, pour faire passer nos messages scientifiques et d'experts qu'on a du mal à transcrire. Donc voilà, c'est un encouragement, je ne sais pas si ça aide monsieur, mais à penser aussi à travailler avec d'autres vrais gens et vrais gens qui ont de l'influence. Merci.
David, I'm sure that your boat will host several rock stars, Hollywood stars, London showbiz stars, and other stars.
They're all in my pocket. They're tiny, I shrunk them down.
Okay.
I mean, it's a cliche. I think it is this whole cliche that, and I will use it again, and it's so true. These are global issues, but they need local messaging. And we really have to make it resonate at a local level. We have to try and create those local triggers. And I think, we sometimes kind of shun off the power of the celebrity or the power of individuals who are, and celebrity not used as in, nowadays you open a magazine and you see a celebrity, but in the terms of, in your field. I mean, Tony is a celebrity in his field. He is a rock star scientist. So, he has a following. So do other individuals. So I think it's about getting those rock stars from all different fields and localizing the messages, using these deliveries and mechanism, and understanding that the world is now, as we know, is global, and that comes with massive implications. We've seen it with our economic crisis right now. But we also have the ability to localize messages. We also have the ability to use local tools. I mean, you know yourself with the web, it's an incredibly powerful tool when used correctly, and you can localize from even simple things like language. There should be a sort of a total sweep of the languages on everyone's website, because, you know, not everyone speaks English or French. I mean, I use my little earpiece. So I think we have to really try and really localize it, and not just say we are, because it's often very easy just to say we are, and it becomes very lost on the local level. So I think using those vehicles and local, so who is the local star in West Africa? Who is the football player? Who is the person who can deliver that message? Those are the people we should embrace. And they don't have to be a scientist because they're delivering it. And I think that's what's encouraging, is to try and use that scientific business consumer shift.
One last question, maybe the one before the last. You have a microphone up there? Yes. Please, allez-y.
Denise Bellan-Santini, Centre d'Océanologie de Marseille. Moi, j'irai encore plus loin. Je dirais que ce que je souhaiterais, c'est que dans le prochain BioMarine, on ait ici un agriculteur, des éleveurs, qui nous disent ce que eux, en amont, peuvent faire pour sauver la mer. Parce qu'en réalité, je pense que quand on parle de grand public, c'est le public des marins. Parce que ici, dans cette salle, nous sommes essentiellement des marins. Et depuis 3 jours, nous parlons entre nous dans la planète mer. Mais la planète Terre, ils ne nous entendent que par un peu la télé, un peu les journaux, et puis c'est tout. Ensuite, ils referment la télé, ils referment les journaux, et la mer, pour eux, ça n'a pas une grande importance. Pour nous, c'est vital, c'est notre vie, c'est tous les jours. Mais pour eux, non. Et lorsqu'ils discutent sur l'utilisation d'un pesticide, par exemple, ils ne pensent pas que ce pesticide, il ira dans la mer. Ils n'ont pas mécanisé dans le domaine terrestre, les terrestres n'ont pas mécanisé l'importance que représente la mer pour eux. Et je crois qu'il faut non seulement parler d'éducation, mais aussi en les impliquant directement. Et ce que je souhaite, c'est que dans le prochain Biomar, on ait ici des terrestres et pas seulement des panels de marins.
Très bon point. One last question. Do I see a hand here?
Hello, Mel Austin from Plymouth Marine Lab. I think our rock stars on the stage have been fantastic today, and they've been fantastic because they have a passion about what they're speaking about. And the scientists certainly have a curiosity, and that's what got them there. I think there's a lot of people in this room who have that passion, who have that curiosity, and who really want to celebrate what the oceans give us and what we get from the marine environment. And I think it's been alluded today, it's what the oceans give us, and we need to maybe talk a little bit more about what the oceans give us, and each one of us gets something different, whether it's the food we eat and the passion about the fish that we eat, whether it's somebody in Southeast Asia who's been protected from the tsunami by the presence of mangroves, where their village might have been wiped out. It's each thing. We have a lot of ecosystem services. The seas provide us with a lot of different things. They regulate our gas and climate. And I think we need to do a bit more celebrating rather than focusing just on saving the seas.
How do we celebrate it? Tony?
Well, I totally agree. There's actually a website, thankyouocean.org, that California put together, a small attempt to do exactly what you say, to just celebrate the livelihoods that we get from the ocean, the enjoyment, the passion, the inspiration. You know, when we go to the coast, we don't stand back and look back to the land. We all look out on the ocean. We've heard in Toulon about the wonderful transportation we have on the ocean. So that website, thankyouocean.org, is a small effort to do exactly what you advocate, and I heartily endorse it.
Okay, let's leave it here. I would like to thank the panelists for their presentations and their thoughts. Thank you all, and thank you for coming tonight. We're going towards a festive evening, dinner and a party. So thank you all.
Wonderful. Great. So we're going to write something. Tomorrow, you've got an appointment with the French minister.